Yeah, because with Shannon Sharpe, they focus on his rant, of course, where he basically said, and I quote AJ Perez, guys. So basically, Shannon responded to the statement of Brad, and
Yeah.
he asked for a dismissal. It's clear here. Per AJ Perez of Front Office Sports Shops, lawyers filed a motion on behalf of the client with the U.S. State's District Court in the Southern District of Mississippi on Wednesday. Shop's opinion commentary based on the reported facts and couched in rhetorical hyperbole regarding an issue of public concern about the public figure lie at the core of the protection of afforded by the uh, First Amendment and Mississippi law. And also, not other things in this response is they are pointing out a lot of things relating. Well, it seems like I also asked you in the last show. Do you would you expect Shannon and Pat's lawyers to work together in this case? And it seems like they are they at least have looked. I mean, these lawyers, the Shannon Sharpe lawyers, have at least looked at Pat's response to take some points from that. It seems like, right?
Well, I don't know if they looked at it to take some points, but the arguments are more or less the same because
I mean, they
the
refer to
claims.
to the other one as well, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, as so in cases like these, the criteria is set by law, and the defense, you know what you need to defend. Let's say what elements you need to defend yourself against. And I mean, here they can of course reference each other, but I don't think that their arguments would have been different if Pat hadn't filed before them. Of course, Shad White's situation is different
Yes,
because he is a yeah,
auditor.
his role is different. He's not a sports reporter as the other two. But if you look at the motion, the complaint that Brett Favre filed against Brett Favre and Shannon Sharpe, respectively, they are more or less the same. So he's accusing them both of doing the same things, the same thing, albeit in different wording. But he's saying that their claims were did not have any base or legal grounds. He's saying that they did it for clout, essentially, which is something which is, let's say, different.
Yeah, because with Shannon Sharpe, they focus on his rant, of course, where he basically said, and I quote AJ Perez, and probably AJ Perez is quoting uh, Shannon. He
Yeah.
stole money from people that really needed that money. That seemed to be the focal point.
Yeah.
And in Sharp's opinion, commentary based on reported facts. That's what I already said before. So I mean that was a. I remembered watching that clip, and Shannon really unloaded on. Oh, that was crazy. But he unloaded on Brad in the worst way possible. He really went in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You watched it,
Yeah. I did watch it, and
guys. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, no, I did watch, but he always goes in.
Yeah, that is true. Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought of about that rant from Shannon Sharpe. We're not gonna show it in this show because we don't want to get any copyright strikes. You can just search it up, Shannon Sharpe, Brett Favre commentary, and then you can find it on YouTube. Let us know in the comments what you think about that. I mean that rant. Do you think he's right? Do you think he's wrong? Should he be sued about what he said? Or is it somewhere in between? Let us know in the comments. So yeah, uh, we have Shannon basically saying that take a hike. He's telling Brett and his lawyers to take a hike and asking the judge to dismiss this. RJ, what are the chances this is actually the judge will agree with and try to dismiss it?
I think the chances are I think he has as
Within a
much.
month or so. Well, I mean, we discussed this also, of course, looking at the case we discussed last week with Mississippi. Is it is
So
it tied to that case as well?
it can be tied. It can be tied to that case. So if, let's say, if the judge finds that the statements that Shannon Sharpe made, and this goes for Brett Favre as well. If he finds that the statements are within the reasonable scope of what a reporter can say based on what they have, then it doesn't really matter if, let's say, it will turn out to be true or not. And I'm referring here to what Brett Favre is accused of in Mississippi. So the but if so I don't know if I made myself clear. So if the if it's just an if the judge finds that the claims that they made and the statements they made are harmless, then it doesn't really matter whether or not they are true or not. If
Mm,
they're harmless and within the scope of what journalists can do and say based on, let's say, the information they had at that point. But if the judge does find that the claims are heavy, and in this case they both are claiming that Brett Favre stole money or something to that extent, if the judge finds that the statements are too harsh, then the judge might say, stealing is a heavy word, so we need to really process, or at least finish the case. So I will deny your motion to dismiss, and we will just litigate until we reach the end.
mm,
So that it all depends on whether the comments on themselves are harmless or not.
okay.